Hello. If you're watching this, you might be carrying a weight around that you rarely talk about, a worry or a suspicion, or maybe even a silent heartbreak. I know how quietly those fears can build up. It starts with a small something here and there, like, replaying conversations in your head or noticing little shifts in somebody's mood, in their energy, or even in their honesty. Maybe that person you love is irritable for no reason and they suddenly are disappearing for hours or they're acting defensive about the privacy. It's so easy to second guess yourself. I know because I've done it, staying awake longer than I should, searching online for confirmation, hoping that I was wrong. Now, if you find yourself asking things like, am I overreacting or am I the problem? Then let's take a breath together. This video is all about one thing, and that one thing is clarity. I'm not here to accuse or to create more panic. I want to offer a grounded, honest lens to see what's really happening. So let's begin by talking about what addiction actually is and what it isn't. It has very little to do with moral weakness. It has little to do with lack of character or how much someone loves their family. Addiction is not a moral failure, and it's never the result of a family member simply not trying hard enough. I mean, Lord knows you are trying very hard. It's a chronic brain condition defined not by frequency of use or quantity of use, but by repeated use. And despite the consequences that are happening, this person still continues. For example, maybe your partner was always reliable at work, but now you're noticing there's missed deadlines and there's excuses for being absent, there's angry phone calls from their boss, and maybe even your finances are a little bit wacko right now and they're unpredictable. There's unexplained bank withdrawals or urgent requests for loans. Sometimes it's even legal problems like traffic stops or minor brushes with the law. And these things show up like out of nowhere, just out of nowhere. So addiction changes the way that the brain works, and it goes way beyond willpower. I've seen it strip away impulse control, rearranging priorities, and make people break promises that they truly meant when they said them. Maybe you've heard things like, it'll never happen again, or I love you, I can't stop right now, or I love you and I can stop anytime I want. But you watched as those words faded away under actions that just don't match. So please hear this. Addiction is not about how much someone values you or your relationship. It's about a neurological battle up here that rewires everything from the inside out. It's usually not dramatic either, and at least not at first. Addiction is sneaky and it creeps in day by day, changing the emotional weather in your home, before you even know it. I mean, it's crazy. Your whole household changes. Suddenly, you're dealing with more secrecy and locked doors and less conversation about what's really going on. You might notice that your loved one is extra tired, or they just aren't as present, and they're skipping family dinners, or they're leaving events early. Irritability becomes normal, and blame seems to drift away from these individuals and toward everyone else, likely you. Maybe you even see yourself suddenly responsible for little kids' homework at night and your grocery shopping because once again someone forgot or disappeared. Now, money is a big clue for many families. Are there frequent ATM withdrawals or credit cards that are maxed out for no visible reason? Have you seen that? Well, maybe there's a sudden urgency about paying bills or requests for money, and these are more frequent and even desperate. Sometimes you catch yourself making up explanations for friends, extended family, or even for yourself because the truth can feel too painful to face. So when addiction is part of your home, then everything changes. You might find yourself tiptoeing around and worried about setting off an argument or a fight. Perhaps you've stopped having friends over, Or you're covering up for missed events and you're putting on a brave face for everyone else while you crumble on the inside. Your body may feel tense and your sleep is always light. You can hear everything going on. You're always alert to the next sign of trouble. Friends, these are not just feelings. These are red flags from your nervous system telling you that something is important. This stress is real and you are not imagining it. I want you to know that. I want you to know about the organization that's changed the journey for many families, including mine, Hope for the Helpers. If you don't know us yet, we're dedicated to supporting people like you, the ones who support everyone else. Through resources and groups and community, the mission is crystal clear: education and clarity, strong boundaries, honest, emotional validation, practical next steps, and above all, hope, 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 hope. The course that we built is called When Addiction Hits Home, and it's going to be here for you very soon. I'm sharing everything that I wish I had known from the start, from understanding why addiction is not a moral failure to why love alone can't fix this, all the way to learning that you did not cause this. Too often, families shoulder the guilt and the shame that really doesn't belong to them. Together, we will bust the myths, like the ideas that families just need love to get over this, or that families should be able to will someone into recovery. Well, we'll explore why helpers need help too, and where to even start when everything feels overwhelming. I'll break it down, and I'll show you what support means, what it really means, and how it's different from enabling. Most importantly, I'll guide you through that first step towards hope, even if right now hope feels impossible. Throughout this course, you'll find pillars that hold everything together: some education, some clarity, some healthy boundaries, and real grounded support. We'll focus on practical steps that you can start using right away, resources for every stage, emotional validation, which is always great because your feelings matter, and self-care for loved ones. Most of all, I want to bring you a realistic, unwavering hope and a vision of what recovery can look like for the whole family. So let's look at what families often get wrong about treatment. It's not about dragging somebody to rehab or forcing a single intervention. Recovery is a winding road, ups and downs and roundabouts, and there's not a one-size-fits-all plan. Recovery is different for everyone. Sometimes people who seem like real high-functioning at their work or in public are deep in crisis, behind the doors and behind their, this wall they've put up. It's easy to think, oh, they're working, they're paying their bills, it can't be that bad. But those quiet, private struggles are just as important as the obvious ones. In our next video, we'll break down what high-functioning addiction is and why it can be even more isolating than you realize. I was one of those people in high-functioning addiction for many years. Maybe you're wondering, where do I start? And my advice is, start by documenting what you see and what you feel. Keep a personal journal just for you. And I want you to remember that this isn't about spying, and it's not about, accusing a loved one. It's about gathering reality over time so that you can trust your own memory and instincts. Don't rush to confront someone, and please don't cover up or smooth over the consequences that are no longer yours to manage. Focus on building your own support system first. The people you trust, therapists, your faith leaders, or groups like ours at Hope for the Helpers. When you build your foundation, you are steadier for everything that comes next. Now, one of the hardest things that I've ever had to learn was the difference between support and enabling. Support means loving someone enough to let them feel their reality, even if it's uncomfortable or painful in the short term. Enabling is when we step in and shield them from consequences, or when we try to rescue our person at the expense of our own health. It's a tricky battle, and I'll walk you through real world examples, and I'll show you what healthy boundaries look like. I'll show you what healthy boundaries look like in regards to conversations, in regards to money, and your everyday daily life, and I'll help you make those choices that keep you strong. Remember, education and clarity need to lead the way. Boundaries are not about punishment. They're about self-respect and love that is honest and not fearful. You did not cause this. Please know that. You cannot cure it alone, and you certainly cannot control it. What you can do is build a roadmap with us, one that includes emotional validation for all those unspoken feelings, actual self-care for you, and a commitment to hope even on the darkest days. So if you're ready to move past fear and into knowledge, I invite you to explore When Addiction Hits Home with me. Every video, every resource, every story has been built for you to take you from confusion to clarity and to show you how the helpers can finally get the support that they deserve. You're not alone. I'm here. Hope for the Helpers is here. And together we can create a new path forward, one that is grounded in knowledge, healthy boundaries, support, and above all, hope. I want to thank you for trusting me to be part of this journey with you. Stay tuned for the next video where we are going to dive deep into high-functioning addiction, one of the most misunderstood challenges in our families today. And I feel like I'm an expert at that because that was me, high-functioning in addiction almost 20 years ago. Again, I want to thank you for joining us. Please follow us, Hope for the Helpers, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all the same name. We are here for you. Have a great day.